So I like to begin with a centering activity because the world around us keeps turning and spinning and makes us spin. And this is part of the meditative aspect of yoga. So I invite you to just sit comfortably to start with. Relax your hands on your thighs, any way that's comfortable for you. If it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, feel free to do that. If you'd rather soften your gaze, that would be good too. And just allow yourself a few moments of quiet within yourself and just notice. Scan your body from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet and notice. Trace, you're welcome to do this with us, please. Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure that I extended that invitation to you. Okay. So scan your body from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet and just notice. You're not judging, you're not criticizing. You're just noticing. How am I feeling? What am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? And then I invite you to ask yourself the question, what would I like to receive from yoga? What would I like to receive from yoga? And let all the answers come and choose one that best fits for you right here, right now. Maybe it's peace, maybe it's relaxation, maybe it's strengthening, maybe it's shoring up your emotions. Whatever it is, let it come. And choose from among those the one that best fits for you right now. And it may change as we move a little bit, but for right now, what would you like to receive from yoga? And now I invite you to open your eyes and to place your hands on your belly, one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, and just breathe a few breaths and notice where you feel the breath come into your body and where do you feel the breath leave your body. And I know from personal experience with anxiety that there are many times when just pausing to breathe and notice my breath helps alleviate some of the intensity of that anxiety. So you're just noticing and welcoming. And now relax your hands on your thighs. I invite you to reach your hands up into the sky, turn your palms away from each other, and as you exhale, let your hands float down. Inhale your shoulders forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Inhale them forward and up. Exhale them back and down. Inhale them forward and up. And exhale them back and down. And then just pause again with your hands on your thighs and notice whatever there is to notice. And now with an inhale, reach your right hand up and put your left hand on the seat of the chair. You can rest your hand on your head if you'd like. Reach your right buttock down into the chair. Breathe in, and when you exhale, float slowly and just a little bit to your opposite side. I am not mirroring you, so it looks like that would be a good thing for me to do, okay? So I'm going to change that for you. All right. So you're leaning over to your left side. Yes? Just a little bit. You don't have to go far. And now inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, relax your hand down. Inhale your left hand to your head or up in the air if that feels good to you. Reach your right hand on the seat of the chair, and when you exhale, let yourself float over to the opposite side. And you can also put your hand on your shoulder if the head isn't accessible, so feel free to do that. Inhale, and when you exhale, come back to the center. And inhale, swing your arms forward and exhale them back. Inhale them forward and up as high as they'll go, and exhale them back. And so just float with your breath. You know, you're just swinging your arms. And now just relax your hands on your thighs. So inhale, reach your hands up. Exhale, turn to your left side and let your right buttock and knee come with you as you turn. Your left hand comes to behind you, and your right hand comes either in between your legs or over to your left knee, whatever is better for you in this position. And notice how as you do that, you might feel a little creaking in your spine. That's just the synovial fluid letting you know that it's taking care of everything back there. On your inhale, come up and back to the center. Exhale, turn to the opposite side. Again, in this case, letting the left knee and hip come forward. Left hand between your legs or on your right leg, and your right hand behind you. And just lift your heart a little bit. Let the top of your pelvis come forward. I'll explain that in a little bit. Just let your body do what it needs to do. And notice how your breath is working its way into your body, telling you you're worth the work. On the inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, let your hands float down. Hold on to the back of the chair or something behind you, and just let your upper body come forward a little bit. We're going to stay here for a few breaths so that you can feel your chest start to relax. It starts to let go of tension and tightness. You start to feel a little more open, a little freer to breathe. And on your next exhale, pull yourself back up, push your feet through the mat, the floor, and then just relax your hands on your thighs. So now I invite you to turn on your chair so that you're turning to your right, and as best you can, keep your right foot on the floor. And if it doesn't reach in the future, put a block or a book or a cushion underneath it. But for now, it's most important that you sit so that your left buttock is off the chair, your right buttock is on the chair, your right hand is holding onto the chair behind you, and your left knee is pointing down toward the ground. Now this you might be really tight here, and this may not be possible for you. So just let it come forward a little bit. We don't need to stretch intensively. All we're doing is we're actually softening this muscle group, and it goes from just below your rib cage to just above your kneecap. There's one on each side, very deep in the body. It's called the psoas, P-S-O-A-S. And when it gets tight, it wreaks havoc on the whole body. And right now, I would just like to pay attention to how when it gets tight, it's pushing on the diaphragm and doesn't allow the diaphragm to expand fully, which means we're not able to breathe as deeply as we would like to and benefit from. So we're not going to do anything. This is enough right here. But I will invite you to visualize your breath moving into and out of that space from just below your ribs to just above your kneecap. Just feel your breath. Visualize your breath. And notice how with each exhale you let go of a little more tension each time. And now I invite you to stretch that left leg out and to lean against the chair if you're able, and bring your left hand either over your head, to your head, or to your shoulder if that's more accessible to you. And just visualize the whole left side of the body, letting go of tension. Feel the ease that keeps coming in. And on the next inhale, Bring yourself back up to a seated position. Bring your hand behind your thigh to pull it forward. And now take your left hand inside your left thigh and open your legs as wide as you can. Without ever pushing or shoving, just bring your hand inside your thigh and move it. If you can get to 90 degrees, great. If you can get wider, that's great too. Wherever you go is good. This is a really important thing for us to do every day, just like the psoas softener, because this helps release the tension all through this part of the body, which helps us walk better, it helps us stand better, it helps release the back. So breathe one more breath in, and now bring yourself, take your time, come back to the center, and we'll pause right here in what's called seated mountain. It's a great place for you to center everything, bring your awareness, your attention back to what you're doing, and maybe even revisit your intention and see if that still fits for you. And now let's turn in the opposite direction. We'll do the same thing. The left foot is flat on the floor if you can reach it. If not, another time you can put a book under there or a pillow under there. You're sitting with the left buttock on the chair and the right buttock off the chair. Your left arm is resting on the back of the chair, and that right knee is pointing down toward the ground or a little bit forward, as far forward as you need for there to be a little bit of sensation without it being a huge stretch. And now visualize your breath moving into and out of that space on the right side of your body this time, from just below your rib cage to just above your kneecap. Feeling with every exhale that there's a softening that starts to take place. And over time, it's very relaxing, very soothing. And now stretch that right leg straight out. Lean against the back of your chair. Bring your right hand either to your head, over your head, or to your shoulder. And feel your breath. And now, as you inhale, do what you need to do to come back to a seated position. Bring your right hand on the inside of your right thigh and pull it open gently, always gently, so that your knees are as wide apart as they can be. Your feet are both flat on the ground. Breathe in, and on the exhale, come back to the center of your chair. Now I want to show you something that has been incredibly freeing to my back. I'm going to sit sideways. You can stay where you are. So a lot of times we sit in chairs, and most chairs are constructed so there's this little bowl. And so we end up sitting in the bowl, and what happens is the top of our pelvis tilts back. And so what has to happen then is the top shoulders, the top of the back rounds forward, which means so the shoulders round. This is like the worst place we can be, but that's how chairs are made. So what I encourage people to do is sit on the forward of the chair, and now I'm going to move my pelvis so that you can see. I'm going to exaggerate it a little bit. You don't want to move to this degree. You want to follow your body, but what happens is the top of the pelvis tilts forward, and look what happens to my whole torso then. And now the top of the pelvis tilts back, and this is where we end up being when we're sitting on a chair the way most of them are constructed. So I invite you to move with me to do this just so that you can feel, because you can do this standing, and you can do this lying down as well as sitting in a chair. And it's really amazing for the lower back, for the sacral iliac joints, for the sacrum. And just move very slowly. The top of the pelvis comes forward, and when that happens, the whole spine lifts up. And the top of the pelvis rolls back, and the spine rounds. So we want to be able to do both. We want as full a range of motion as we can have. So let's just do one more. And now I invite you to just come back into your seated, centered position, forward on your chair, the top of the pelvis tilting slightly forward so you can feel the release in your lower back. And now just pause here with your eyes closed or your gaze soft so that you can feel the effects. Yoga is really about the residual effects on your nervous system. It's not about the poses themselves. It's what happens in your mind, body, spirit when you do the poses. So now, if it's accessible to you, you can lift your left leg. If that doesn't work for you, leave your foot on the floor and heel toe your feet so that your knees are wider from each other. Either one works really well. But I encourage you now to just relax your hands. Tilt the top of the pelvis slightly forward and feel how that lifts your whole torso. The front of the spine just lifts up. Our bodies, even though it doesn't always feel that way, our bodies really are very wise, and we need to listen to them. So now I invite you to line up your nose and your chin with your belly button, to close your eyes or soften your gaze, and to breathe a couple of your normal breaths in and out. And now I invite you to breathe with me. If you ever get short of breath, just stop what you're doing and just breathe your normal breath in and out. But we'll begin together. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, and now breathe your normal breaths in and out. And now let's breathe again together. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4. Breathe your normal breaths in and out. And now let's do that one more time together. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, pause, 2, 3, 4, breathe your normal breath in and out for just a few more moments and think to yourself, it's just one breath. It's just one breath. It's just one breath. And I invite you now to become aware of your breath, to receive your breath wherever you feel it, to rub your hands rigorously together to generate some heat, and now gently cup your hands over your eyes. And receive the warmth from your hands and your eyes and their sockets, your cheekbones, your jawbone, all the way down to your heart. And place a smile behind your eyes, behind your lips, behind your heart, and receive the softness that moves into your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Now bring your hands together in front of your heart, leaving some space between your palms. This is the gesture that's used throughout the Himalayas to say hello and goodbye, and which means the light that is me honors the light that is you. Namaste. Namaste.